Why did the PAP decide to demolish that old mosque? Why? What happened to that piece of land? Can Mr. Fu answer on behalf of the government? Who, now when you build a new mosque, who is going to pay for the land and construction of the new mosque? Okay? And more importantly, he talked as if the mosque is going to be in Pioneer SMC. Is the mosque going to be built in Pioneer SMC? No. If not, what credit is Mr. Fu claiming for? What credit? He talked as if, oh, he is the one who gets the mosque into Jurong. Okay. More importantly, will this idea be scrapped if Cedric or Mr. Fu is not elected? The answer is no. Okay. Next, he talked about a new primary school. Okay. Again, is that his idea? Did he ever say in Parliament that, oh, this area needs a new primary school? Okay. There is no election, nothing mentioned. Election is here for 10 years, he's do nothing. Election is here for 2 months, he start walking the ground. A bit late, he start claiming credit. Okay. You said it. Okay. Next, many people email me. What is in it for me to vote for you? I want to address that question. As some of my colleagues say, you will see your MP 5 days a week in your constituency. Meet the people session. You don't need to queue for 3 or 4 hours. How long? 3 or 4 hours. You don't need to queue for 3 or 4 hours to see your MP for 2 or 3 minutes. You can come and see me Monday to Friday afternoon. I will arrange for that. Okay, and we have a longer session. Okay, if necessary, if I have written letters for you, it doesn't work, I will call out the civil servants in front of you and directly ask them how to solve the problem. Does it sound good? That is the commitment I give to you. I am more willing to spend time with you. I am more willing to speak out for you in Parliament. In the 5 years when I was NCMP, I asked so much questions that Wong Kan Seng, as leader of the House, changed the rules in Parliament to limit the number of questions we can ask to 3. Do you know that? They limit the number of questions to 3, so that I cannot ask too many. I spoke so much that I can publish a book, 200 over pages book. And I am the MP for now that still holds a record for the most number of questions that's asked. That is the commitment I put to you, to represent you and raise your concern. And as I gave out my amended calendar with my hotline number, if you have any problems in your estate, you call me, I come and see you. Okay? No MPs have given you that guarantee. So, is Mr. Fu willing to spend more time and commitment and energy with you? Or is he going to just disappear again for the next 5 years? Because most likely, this will be his last 5 terms. If he is ever elected. Okay?
PFP never have, they only lecture us.
Thank you. And now, I will move on to national issues. How many of you here is happy not to pay the radio and TV license anymore? Thank you. How many of you here feels that the cost of living is getting too high? Please lift up your hand. Yes. And how many of you here feels that the Singapore government is too money-centered? Please give out your hand. Thank you. Has your life got better in the last 5 years? Are you working harder and yet having less money and time to spend with your family? Yes? Yes. Let me give you some statistics. Statistics is a bit boring, but it's important. Okay? From the Department of Statistics Key Household Trends February 2011 report, the lowest 30% of Singaporeans are earning less than $940 per month. Do you know that? How much? $940 per month. Lowest 30% of Singaporeans. That is from the Department of Statistics. The median income is at 1,506. That means 50% of our employed Singaporeans are earning less than $1,506 per month. Can you believe that? This amount is earned by our ministers in an hour or two. In an hour or two, with the GST, the charges, the car park fines, the levies, the taxes that is imposed on you. Is it right? Do you like it? No! You don't like it. That is not correct. There is something very wrong here. Very wrong here. Thank you. Next, from the CPF annual reports. In 2001, the number of active CPF members making less than 1,000 per month was 200,678. That is 15.8% of total CPF members. By 2004, the numbers had risen to 215,167. That is 16.2%. And by 2009, the numbers exploded to 285,789. That is 17.4%. Statistics. But more interestingly, and in tune with many complaints by those above 45, those having problems getting good, decent paying jobs, of the 70,622 increase from 2004 to 2009, 55,529 came from members above 45 years of age. That is, as of 2009, 1 in 4 members above 45 years old makes less than 1,000 per month. 1 in 4. And this is during the best years in Singapore. So, below all the beautiful infrastructure, our magnificent buildings, there is real poverty in Singapore. And this is not being addressed. Has it been addressed? No! Many families are falling through the crack. That is why you see many people living in void decks and on the beach. Right? Yeah. Again, from the 2008 Department of Statistics survey, the lowest 20% of households are earning an average of $1,309 per month in 1998. 10 years later, by 2008, their average earning has gone down by $35 to $1,274. That is not factoring inflation. So their earning has gone down over 10 years, okay, for the lower 20%. And all this while their average monthly household expenditure shot up from $1,693 in 1998 to $1,760 in 2008. Effectively, the lowest 20% of households in our society has been in deficit since 1998. And that deficit has shot up to minus 486, an increase of $100 in these 10 years. Okay. What does it mean? It means going forward, the lowest 20% of our population will find it hard to catch up in income. Worse, with the current government policy, their deficits can only get worse, not better. That is why we need to seriously study the feasibility of a minimum wage scheme. Government help is not the answer because that is uncertain, and it depends on whether there is an election coming. Like today, without a decent paying job for Singaporeans, the lowest 20% and more of our population cannot hope to exist with self-respect. To quote from Professor Tommy Cole, the reality is that for the bottom 30% of our population, life is very tough. Is it right? Yes. Is our life very tough? Yes. So, what is the problem here? The problem is that the minister's salary are pegged to the wrong KPI. What's the KPI? Key Performance Indicators. It is pegged, bonuses of the ministers, the salaries are pegged to the top income earners and GDP growth. That is wrong. It is too narrow. When it's so narrow and it's all about GDP growth, the minister's focus is on GDP growth. And how to increase the GDP growth. How to grow the GDP? One simple solution is to add more what? More workers. Add more workers. Singapore's workers are limited. So how do you add more workers? Yeah. Bring in foreign workers. When you add in more foreign workers, you increase the GDP. But that affects your salary. As a matter of fact, GDP alone does not paint the whole picture. It doesn't. What is important is the per capita income. It means your income. It must show that your income is growing, and that is critical, and that is important. Yes. The wealth distribution is skewed towards the rich. Credit Suisse report states that the bottom 25% of our population has less than 14,000 in net worth. And with an adult population of 4 million, our mean wealth in asset look good at 366,000. It look good, the mean. Okay, but when you look at the median, that means the 50% point, it paints a very sad picture of only 43,000 Singapore dollars. That means 50% of our population in this rich and first world society has only 43,000 in net wealth. Suddenly, we all look very poor. How can that be? Can the ministers clarify on this report or rebut their report? I think we'd like to hear that. So, to reward our ministers well, so that they take greater care of us, we need to expand their KPI in terms of salaries, determination, and bonuses. It cannot be just based on the income of top earners or the GDP growth alone. We need to add items like per capita income, which is good for you and me. Okay? It must show an ascending trend before they are given more bonuses.